Okay, on this video we're going to look at finding the inverse functions. So, 2 steps to find an inverse. Step 1, switch x and y. Second step, solve for y. Those are your 2 steps. Switch x and y. Second step, solve for y. So, on number 7, we're going to make y an x. We're going to make the x a y. We're going to leave everything else the same. Now we want to get y by itself. So we are going to do the inverse operations. Okay? So currently, if we plugged in a value for y, what would you normally do? Well, if you plugged in a 4 here, this would be 4 minus 2, you would get 2, you would divide that by 7. That would be the normal order of operations. So we need to undo that. So we need to do that in the reverse order. So that means we're going to get rid of the 7 first. So since this is division, we multiply. So this is 7x equals y minus 2. Now we got to get y by itself, so we just need to bring the 2 over. So this is 7x plus 2 equals y. Here's your inverse function. Okay. Number 8, step 1, switch your x and the y. So this is x equals y minus 2 squared minus 4. So now we need to bring this stuff over. So you can kind of think as the y being buried underneath all these operations. If you plugged in a value for y, first thing you would do is subtract 2, then you would square it, then you would subtract 4. So we need to do that in the reverse order. This is the first thing that needs to come over. Then we'll get rid of the squared, then we'll get rid of the minus 2. So we bring the 4 over by the inverse operation, which is plus 4 equals y minus 2 squared. Then we get rid of the squared by taking the square root. So we need the square root of this whole side. But anytime you take the square root, there's a positive and a negative case. That equals y minus 2. And now we just need to bring the 2 over to the other side. Now some people put it afterwards, some people put it before. It doesn't matter. I'll put it after. Plus or minus square root of x plus 4. And then plus 2. This plus 2 is not under the square root. Equals y. So there's your inverse function. On number 9, step 1, switch the x and the y. Plus 5. So it looks like we have to get rid of a square root. We got to get rid of a minus 1, and we got to get rid of a plus 5. If you normally plugged in a value of y, you would subtract 1, take the square root, and add 5. So we're going to do that in the reverse order. So we're going to bring the 5 over first. Then we got to get rid of the square root by squaring. And then you can bring the 1 over by adding. Okay. So here's your inverse function on that one. So to find an inverse, you switch your x and your y, and then you're solving for y, doing the inverse operations.